Ayurveda so, deeply defines us as human beings, who we are, without even, getting into the depths of our being as individuals out there. A lot of things are already written in the scriptures, which very beautifully and elaboratively define the nature and the constitution of the overall human body. And this brings me to my next question and a very important point that we discussed at the start of the podcast as well, Mary, is lack of time. So
Mm.
a lot of people who believe out there that they don't have time, or if I put it in a very different manner, many of us lead very busy lives. So how can somebody with such hectic schedules, incorporate Ayurveda in their lives?
Yeah, that's true that we tend to run a lot lately and we think that we don't have time to do anything. But maybe the first thing that we should do is looking at where do you spend most of your time? Like maybe try to keep a journal where you write down all your daily activities and you see where you spend most of your time. For example, you might think, oh, I have no time to meditate, but then you spend 1 hour in transport in a train to go to work every morning. Well, that's 1 hour where you could meditate actually. And even if you have absolutely no time to meditate, just be mindful, be mindful when you do something, be mindful when you eat, involve all your senses, the food, like what do you see, what do you smell, eat with your hands, what can you touch and taste. And it's even when you brush your teeth, you could have like this 5 minutes of being mindful. So sometimes we think
Mhm.
that we don't have time and we need to have at least like 2 hours in our day to incorporate all these Ayurvedic practices. But you need to start small and you need to be a little bit more organized. So maybe plan your day in advance. Don't start your day thinking, oh, what am I going to do today? Because you're losing time, in deciding what to do. So think in advance, plan your day, do your most important task in the morning, because that's when your concentration is at the highest. Maybe prepare your meal in advance. In Ayurveda, we say that we should always eat freshly cooked food. But I'm also aware that, we live in a society where it's really hard to spend some time every day to cook freshly cooked meals. So I would rather want my clients to spend a little time on Sunday to prepare their meals for the week and freeze them if they had to, rather than going and buying a sandwich, for lunch. And yeah, what else could they do if they're like really busy? Less time on the screens. I think that can already have an amazing impact
Mhm.
on your mental health and your physical health as well. And just be grateful, practice gratitude. I think this is something that is so overrated that we think, oh, like, yeah, it's like, why thanking for whatever I have will help me be healthier? But it's going to help you in a way that first it's going to take your focus on something else, and realizing that yes, you're very busy with work, but is work the most important thing you have in life? Like, don't, maybe you have a lovely family, you have friends, you have a pet that you love. So be grateful for what you have, focus on the positive, maybe write down all of this. And then I think this is already going to reduce the stress, and it's gonna help you to be more mindful and to want to change your life, to have a more healthy lifestyle. So a lot of it for people who have a hectic schedule is rethinking about your mindset, rethinking about what is really important for you in life. If you just want to make money and work as hard as possible, then do it. That's, if that's your thing. But if you think that it's important to be healthy physically and mentally, then you're going to have to change things in your lifestyle. We all have 24 hours. You cannot add hours, for to build your healthy lifestyle. You have to take out some of the things. You have
Yep.
to take advantage of the moment that, yeah, you spend in transport, that you spend doing other things, to replace them with more healthy habits.
I totally agree. I totally agree on that. But a lot of people, because of their hectic schedules, lead a very stressful life. And often that stress, anxiety, which comes because of the hectic schedule we all have. A lot of times we find ourselves with a lack of sleep. We find ourselves in the clutches of being insomniac out there. Are there any Ayurveda remedies or Ayurveda practices or yoga practices which can help us overcome insomnia and get better sleep out there?
Yeah, so first, I think if someone has really trouble to sleep and it goes even to insomnia, what we need to do is, again, we need to look at the root cause. There is no magic pill, once again, but there are some things that you can already implement into your life to make sure that you're sleeping better. Because a lack of sleep or insomnia can come from different issues, depending on your constitution, your lifestyle. Is really hard to give one solution. But there are some simple things that you can do. And I think for me, the most important is regularity. Really establishing a regular sleep routine. That means that you're going to go to bed at the same time every single day. The more you go to bed, like, oh, one time I go at 10 p.m. and then midnight and then the weekend at 2 a.m., then your body is so lost. So you really need to be as regular as possible. Try to go to bed around 10 p.m. because the hours of sleep from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is the most restorative hours of sleep. So, we always think, oh, I need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And then if you go to bed at midnight and then you wake up at 8, you think, it's great, I had 8 hours of sleep. But still, you wake up and you feel tired and you don't understand why. But it's because you only had from 10 p.m. to midnight just 2 hours of really deep restorative sleep. So it's definitely not enough. So the closer you go to bed, the closer to 10 p.m. you go to bed, the better sleep you're going to have. And then you need to avoid having a heavy meal before going to bed. You need to go to bed with the food being already digested. So eat your dinner at least 2 hours before going to bed, so you have time to digest. And then you can have some very soothing activities in the evening. You can read a book. Really staying away from screen is so important. Have some dim light, even like some candles to really prepare your eyes and your body to go into that restful state. You can take a bath. Is that something that's relaxing you? You can put some essential oil to relax you. So you can do some great yoga technique is yoga nidra, or even just some gentle stretching before going to bed. And one thing that I love doing is using oil. We use oil a lot in Ayurveda, and you can use sesame oil and you rub it on your palms and on the sole of your feet. Give yourself a little massage, and that will help you to really relax and go to sleep feeling calmer. And maybe one last thing, I would say drinking warm milk. You can drink warm milk and you can put just a pinch of nutmeg in it, and then that will help you to sleep better as well. So there are just like small techniques that you could do. If really the sleeping issues is more important than that, then we need to look at what is the root cause of your issues. But starting with these tips and seeing how it goes can be a good start.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Mary, for sharing this. Listeners, we hope you try these out. But yes, do take advice of Ayurvedic advisors out there. You can reach out to Mary as well. We'll be putting out her contact details in the descriptions below. So please do take guidance of an Ayurvedic advisor before going at full length with these. But yes, you can try once or twice. And if it doesn't impact, you can reach out to her, or you want to understand more in depth, please do take advice. And I totally align with the things that you have shared, Mary. I often ensure that my dinner is at least 3 times before my bedtime. It has really helped me drastically, have lesser indigestion issues in the morning. A better sleep, of course, it's there, and higher energy levels. So yeah, I totally align with those, all the methodologies or remedies that you have shared. Coming on to another point, Mary, in Ayurveda, we talk a lot about herbs and spices. You also talked about a pinch of nutmeg to be added to the milk. Can you share some more herbs or spices which our listeners can try at the comfort of their home and bring changes to their lifestyle for a healthier body?
Yeah, sure. I love spices. Since I discovered spices, I I have them with me all the time. Whenever I travel with my spices because they have amazing properties and they can help a lot of issues that you have. So I'm going to try to take example of a few that people might already have at home because there's so many spices as well. Let's start with black pepper, for example. It's a very common one that we have, and it's amazing in stimulating the production of digestive juices. It can improve your circulation. It can help in weight loss if that's what you want. It can also help to prevent premature aging. So this is one that I really like, and it is so easy to find wherever you go. Then you have turmeric that I think everyone knows and everyone is using, and it's this beautiful yellow color spice that is anti-inflammatory. It will help the digestion. It will boost your immunity. And when you're using turmeric, make sure that you're using turmeric in combination with black pepper, so it helps to absorb it better. Then another one that I love is cardamom. It's great to help if you have nausea. It can help also digest dairy. So if you have yogurt, you can put a pinch of cardamom inside. It's also good when you open, the pod and you just eat the little seeds inside. It's a good mouth freshener that I really love. Which other one? I think cinnamon. Cinnamon is one that I really love as well. It's very, very sweet, and it helps you to balance your blood sugar level. It will improve your circulation, provide some warmth into the body as well. So that's a great one to have. I also travel a lot with clove on me because it's amazing for dental hygiene. Whenever you have a toothache, you can just put one clove in your mouth and clove oil would release, and it will help you to soothe that toothache. And it's also great for gas and bloating. Ginger is one that is used a lot as well. It's anti-inflammatory. It will help the digestion, also help to relieve nausea. And one that I love to use as a combination that you might know of is the CCF, is cumin, coriander, and fennel. And these three spices together, you can make a tea out of it. You just take equal parts of all of three and you boil it in water, and then you drink it, and it's so good to release the bloating and the gas, especially if you have a heavy meal. So I really love that one. Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's a very interesting way of remembering it. CCF, I am going to remember it, and probably when I'm having the next heavy meal. So yeah, amazing. Thanks a lot, Mary, for sharing these tips on different herbs and spices that, we can consume.